How many royal jewels are hidden away in vaults, unseen by the public for years? Today, as we celebrate the end of Sapphire Month, we'll take a closer look at some stunning sapphire pieces that haven't been worn in decades. Personally, I can't wait for the day they make their return to the spotlight. Are there any of these jewels you'd love to see worn by a royal again? Let's explore them together. Before we begin, please support my channel by clicking the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you. I would like to begin with one of the most iconic pieces of jewelry owned by the late Diana, Princess of Wales, the reappearance of which I'm certain many are eagerly awaiting. This is her famous sapphire and pearl choker necklace, which has not been seen in public for a long time, yet remains a symbol of her unparalleled style. This piece originally began as a wedding gift to Diana from the Queen Mother. It was initially a brooch, a large sapphire surrounded by a double row of diamonds. The sapphire itself was remarkable in size, with a shade that fashion historian Susie Menkes once likened to a duck egg. Diana wore the brooch on several official occasions, including a dinner at the Prime Minister's residence in February 1982 and a banquet at Hampton Court during a visit from Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands. However, Diana rarely wore the gift as a brooch and eventually decided to have it transformed into a necklace, turning the sapphire into the striking centerpiece of a 7-stranded pearl choker. The Princess of Wales wore this updated version at several high-profile events, including her famous visit to the White House in 1985. The dinner, hosted by Ronald and Nancy Reagan, became a star-studded affair, and the sapphire and pearl choker drew attention when Diana danced with John Travolta. That moment and the necklace have remained unforgettable, symbolizing Diana's dazzling style. Although she occasionally reverted to wearing the piece as a brooch, the majority of her appearances featured the choker. Diana often paired it with sapphire earrings, creating harmonious and elegant ensembles. The necklace's final public appearance came in 1996, when Diana attended the Met Gala in New York. Since then, it has disappeared from view, and it hasn't been worn publicly for more than 20 years. It's believed that after Diana's death, the necklace was inherited by her sons. Now, it may be waiting for its next moment to shine, possibly in the hands of Catherine, Princess of Wales. She already wears other sapphire pieces that once belonged to Diana, including her engagement ring, making this set a potentially perfect addition to her royal wardrobe. The choker is not the only piece of Princess Diana's jewelry that has not been seen in a long time. Another forgotten set is the Saudi Sapphire Suite, gifted to Diana by Crown Prince Fahd of Saudi Arabia in 1981 as a wedding present. This magnificent sapphire and diamond demi-parure made its first public appearance in 1983 during the Prince and Princess of Wales's tour of Australia. For a state reception in Brisbane, Diana wore a striking pink evening gown by Victor Edelstein, paired with the Spencer tiara and the Saudi sapphire jewels, including the necklace, bracelet, and earrings. The set made a stunning impression, especially when paired with her famous sapphire engagement ring. The combination of the pink dress with the cool tones of the sapphires and diamonds became one of the most memorable looks of the tour, highlighting Diana's youthful and modern approach to royal fashion. After her divorce, Diana continued to wear the set, but since her appearance at a charity gala in Washington, D.C. in 1996, these jewels have not been seen in public. It's believed that after her death, the suite was inherited by her sons, but it has yet to be worn by either Catherine, Princess of Wales, or Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. An interesting twist occurred recently. In 2024, Queen Camilla appeared at an event in Guernsey, wearing sapphire and diamond earrings that bore a striking resemblance to those from Diana's Saudi sapphire set. These earrings, like Diana's, feature a dark blue sapphire surrounded by diamond rays. However, there are reasons to doubt that these are the same earrings. Camilla does not have pierced ears, while Diana did, making it unlikely that she would wear earrings originally designed for pierced ears without significant modification. So far, Camilla has not worn any jewelry that required such adaptations. Additionally, Camilla owns a sapphire set gifted to her during a visit to Saudi Arabia in 2006, and it's possible that her earrings are part of that collection rather than Diana's. Nonetheless, the appearance of such similar earrings raises questions and speculation. Until the original earrings from Diana's Saudi set make a public appearance, we can only wonder who their next wearer might be. Another sapphire set of Diana's that hasn't been seen in public for a long time is the suite gifted to her by the Sultan of Oman. Like her famous Saudi set, this suite was presented during the Prince and Princess of Wales's visit to the Middle East in 1986, when Sultan Qaboos hosted the royal couple in Oman. The Sultan, who was educated in England and served in the British Army, had strong ties with the Windsors. As a gesture of friendship, he gifted Diana a set of sapphire and diamond jewels, including earrings, a necklace, and a bracelet. The style of the jewels was distinctly 80s, with a prominent crescent motif repeated throughout the set. Diana first wore the set in November 1987 at a dinner in Bonn during a trip to Germany. She then wore it for a gala at the Royal Opera House, and again at a fashion show at the Sydney Opera House in 1988. One of the last times Diana was seen wearing the set was in October 1995 at the premiere of the film Haunted. The set now belongs to Prince William and Prince Harry, but it has yet to make a public appearance, perhaps because of its distinctly 80s style. But has this set truly become outdated? Personally, I think its bold sapphires and striking design could work well with modern styles. What do you think? Another magnificent piece of jewelry that has long been hidden from the public eye is the Queen Mother's sapphire brooch. Like many of her jewels, it was richly adorned and featured pendants, which the Queen Mother particularly loved. The brooch was part of a wedding gift from Queen Mary, presented to Elizabeth Bowes Lyon in 1923 on the occasion of her marriage to the Duke of York, the future King George VI. The gift included not only the brooch, but also a necklace, bracelet, ring, and several smaller brooches, all set with sapphires and diamonds. The brooch boasted a complex design with floral and scroll elements, as well as two asymmetrical pendants, one hanging lower than the other. This piece became one of the Queen Mother's favorites, and she wore it throughout her life. For example, she chose it for the 1951 Trooping the Color ceremony, when Princess Elizabeth stepped in to represent her ailing father, King George VI, at the event. The brooch accompanied her to many family occasions, including the christening of her great-grandson, Prince William, in 1982. She also wore it at the weddings of her grandsons, the Duke of York in 1986 and the Earl of Wessex in 1999. After her death in 2002, the brooch was inherited by Queen Elizabeth II, and it has not been seen since. It is likely still kept in the royal vaults, and we can only hope that one day it will reappear, perhaps on Queen Camilla. Another long-forgotten sapphire treasure is Queen Mary's sapphire sunray bandeau. This elegant piece has an intriguing history and has mysteriously disappeared from the public eye. The exact details of how the tiara entered the royal collection remain unclear. The first member of the royal family known to wear it was Queen Mary herself, during the later years of her husband King George V's reign. The tiara is a flexible diamond bandeau with a sunray design, featuring a central sapphire and diamond cluster. The central sapphire element can be removed and worn separately as a brooch. Queen Mary sometimes replaced the sapphire with other brooches, such as the carved emerald from the Delhi Durbar set. There is speculation that the tiara has Russian origins. In her 1980s book, The Queen's Jewels, Leslie Field claimed that this tiara once belonged to the Dowager Empress Marie Fyodorovna of Russia. According to her, Queen Mary acquired this tiara along with other jewels from the Empress's collection. However, there are no public records confirming the purchase of this particular tiara, making its provenance somewhat unclear. After Queen Mary's death, the tiara passed to the Queen Mother, but she never wore it publicly. Instead, she loaned it to her daughter, Princess Margaret, who frequently wore the piece at various events, including dinners and official receptions. Notably, Princess Margaret enjoyed wearing the sapphire brooch separately from the tiara, adorning her daytime and evening outfits with it. However, neither the tiara nor the brooch has been seen publicly for over 50 years. Where the tiara is now remains unknown. It may be stored in the royal vaults or perhaps passed to one of Princess Margaret's children. We can only hope that one day it will reappear, dazzling everyone once again with its regal sapphire brilliance. Personally, I eagerly await the day this happens. Not only in the British royal family do jewels disappear from public view for years, but the same happens in other royal houses around the world. One such example is the sapphire bracelet of Grand Duchess Josephine Charlotte of Luxembourg. This magnificent bracelet, which became one of the Grand Duchess's favorite pieces, was given to her in 1953 as a wedding gift when she married Grand Duke Jean. The Belgian Nobility Association presented her with this truly luxurious gift, a jewel featuring 258 diamonds and a large sapphire from Sri Lanka in the center. The bracelet's key feature is its ability to transform. The central sapphire element could be removed and worn as a brooch, giving Josephine Charlotte great versatility in her styling choices. Most often, she wore it as a bracelet, but she was also photographed wearing the central part as a brooch. In the 1970s, when the Grand Duchess's daughters, Princesses Mary Astrid and Margaretha, began attending public events, the bracelet was converted into a tiara. Princess Mary Astrid was the first to wear it as a tiara during Queen Elizabeth II's state visit to Luxembourg in 1976. Grand Duchess Josephine Charlotte herself also appeared several times wearing the jewel as a tiara, including at the Spanish state banquet in 1980. After her death in 2005, many of the Grand Duchess's jewels were almost auctioned, but thanks to public pressure, the sale was cancelled. However, this did not entirely save the jewels from being sold, as many pieces were quietly sold off afterward. Luckily, the sapphire bracelet remained within the family. In recent years, it appears the bracelet belongs to Princess Margaretha, who wore it as a tiara during Luxembourg's state visit to Belgium in 2007. Since then, she has not been seen wearing the bracelet as a bandeau. However, in 2012, Princess Margaretha wore the central sapphire element as a brooch at the wedding of her nephew, hereditary Grand Duke Guillaume. Yet it has now been more than 10 years since its last appearance. Perhaps soon we will once again see this jewel shine in one of the royal family's looks, when this treasure of the Grand Ducal family of Luxembourg reappears. Now let's move to Spain and talk about a lesser-known but equally charming tiara that also hasn't been seen in public for quite some time. The sapphire tiara of Infanta Pilar is an elegant and antique piece, crafted in a scroll design. The tiara consists of 7 diamond scrolls, each featuring a central sapphire, with additional sapphires between each pair of scrolls. It is believed that this tiara may have originally been a bracelet, which was passed down to Maria Luisa, daughter of the Countess of Paris. Later, the tiara was possibly given to her daughter, the future Countess of Barcelona, as a wedding gift in 1935. Since then, the tiara has become a family heirloom, cherished by several generations of the Spanish royal family. The Countess of Barcelona was photographed wearing this tiara at one of the grand occasions. She later gifted the tiara to her eldest daughter, Infanta Pilar, who began wearing it after reaching adulthood. Infanta Pilar became closely associated with the tiara, and it could be considered her signature piece. After the restoration of the Spanish monarchy, Pilar continued to wear the tiara at official events, especially during state visits and galas. At the weddings of Infanta Pilar's sons, her daughters-in-law, Barbara Cano and Laura Ponte, also wore the tiara, symbolizing the continuity of this family heirloom. The last time the tiara was seen on Infanta Pilar was in 2006. Since her death in 2020, the current whereabouts of the tiara remain unknown. The final sapphire tiara we will discuss is the elegant tiara of Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden, which was gifted to her on her 18th birthday. On July 14, 1995, Victoria, the eldest daughter of King Carl XVI Gustaf and Queen Sylvia, celebrated her 18th birthday at the royal palace in Stockholm. Among her gifts was a small tiara in a festoon style, adorned with diamonds and sapphires. Despite its modest size, the tiara recalls the design of two other Bernadotte family jewels: the lost diamond and pearl tiara of Princess Christina, and the modern gemstone tiara worn by Countess Bettina Bernadotte. Princess Victoria wore her new tiara at the pre-wedding ball in honor of Prince Joachim of Denmark and Alexandra Manley on November 17, 1995, pairing it with a dark blue gown with gold embellishments. In the following years, she wore the tiara to several significant events, including her father's 50th birthday in 1996 and Queen Margrethe II of Denmark's 60th birthday in 2000. However, over time, Victoria began opting for larger tiaras from the royal collection, such as the Baden fringe tiara, the four-button tiara, and the Napoleonic amethyst tiara. The last notable appearances of this sapphire tiara were at representative dinners in Stockholm in 2005 and 2007. Since then, the tiara has been tucked away in her jewelry box, perhaps waiting for the day it will adorn the head of Victoria's daughter, Princess Estelle, when she makes her own tiara debut. So many stunning sapphire jewels remain hidden from view, and I can't wait for the day they reappear in public. What about you? Which of these pieces would you love to see again? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more royal jewelry stories.